Hey guys, thank you for tuning into my channel. Much appreciated. Before we begin with our week 2 early odds, let's hit that like and subscribe button for me. And also, let's leave your comments below afterwards, whether you disagree or agree with the picks I'm about to give you. Anyway, these are the early lines that are popping up all over the place. We're going to do our very best. It was kind of an interesting first weekend, all right? I was very impressed with a couple of teams like the Dallas Renegades and Austin Reed. Holy cow, what a way to come out. They really look like the probably going to be the champions of the UFL this year, the way they came out, right? It's only week 1, but Austin Reed breaking that UFL record with most passing yards in a game, that was very impressive. Look for him on player props this weekend. Um, as for the Stallions, they were kind of disappointing with the way they came out on opening night. They were kind of sluggish on offense. They kept the Louisville Kings hanging around. And for the Kings, they were very impressive. And Chris Redman's head coaching debut, they had a quarterback there in Jason Bean. If the receivers would just catch the ball, his stats would be even more impressive. This is a fine-looking young man at the quarterback position. Probably could get a shot in the NFL once the season is over. I believe both him and Austin Reed look fantastic on opening weekends. As far as Birmingham, they were sluggish. I mean, I didn't, all the talent is the only reason that they won this game. That kid Mickens at wide receiver, just fantastic. Bailed them out at the end there. Matt Corral with the winning touchdown pass there. The DC Defenders, another disappointing team on opening weekend, but not so much because I told you guys that the upset for the weekend was going to be the St. Louis Battlehawks. And they certainly proved it with that defensive front line that constantly kept putting pressure on Jordan Ta'amu. I always said that when you put the pressure on Jordan Ta'amu, he's bound to make mistakes. He took a lot of sacks. Now he has a depleted offensive line. I believe he's going to miss his offensive center for 1 week. I don't know how bad he's hurt, but it really looked bad. Houston Gamblers, they did not look good against the Dallas Renegades. They did not look good at all. Same with the Columbus Aviators. They were sluggish on offense. Took too long at the end of last night's game between the Storm, and they just couldn't get that ball in the end zone throughout the night. I was really disappointed, especially when you have Todd Haley as your offensive coordinator. And then the Orlando Storm, I told you guys, Anthony Beck's a good head coach. And what happens? Got his team fired up. They win their first game, good for the Orlando Storm. So let's get going for week number 2 and the early odds, because I believe this weekend we have another upset brewing, and you're not going to believe who I'm going to pick for the upset this weekend. So let's start off with the first game up. We have the DC Defenders at the Columbus Aviators. Guys, it's a no-brainer. I believe Shannon Harris rebounds this week, gets his team fired up. Also, I didn't like the way the game ended against the Battlehawks, where the defense was arguing with each other. They need to clean that up. I always said that the Defenders were kind of an undisciplined team, right? Even last year I was saying that. And it showed at the end of that game when they needed to stop the Battlehawks. But I think they'll rebound. They're just a way talented team, much more talented than the Aviators. So we're going to moneyline the Defenders, and I believe the over and under is at 39.5. We're going to take the under of 39.5. I was not impressive with the offense with the Defenders. Also, not impressive with the Aviators offense as well. But the spread's going to be kind of high. I believe it's going to reach minus 5.5, maybe go over that. But I feel like the Defenders will win by 10, maybe 13 points. So take that minus 5.5. Okay, let's go to the next game. The very impressive Louisville Kings will be traveling to the Orlando Storm. The Storm will be staying home for the second consecutive week. Congratulations to the Orlando Storm franchise for their first victory and Anthony Beck. Well, Jack Plummer is their quarterback. I was kind of shocked he started and not Dorian Thompson. Again, I did not see any of their preseason exhibition games or whatever they were doing before the season started. Well, if they're going to roll with Jack Plummer, there was some good plays from him, and then the offensive line kind of dismantled there towards the end against the Aviators. The Aviators were kept in that game. Other than KJ Hamler, the speedster, they got a wide receiver. They did make some plays enough to win the game. Corbin is a fantastic running back. Look for player props with that guy getting in the end zone. But I'm going to take for the upset. Here I go, guys. The Louisville Kings, because I just believe that Jason Bean guy is much better than what McClendon showed against Orlando, and they're in for a big surprise. This guy has a fantastic arm. Let's see if his receivers come through this time. And if they could get that running game going, I'm looking for the upset here. So take the Louisville Kings for the upset. I believe the over and unders at 38.5. We're going to go over that. This could be one of those games where they might be back and forth in the end zone, but I'm taking that plus 1.5. It's obvious, right? Because we're taking the Kings to pull the upset. Let's go to the third game. We got the Birmingham Stallions, very unimpressive on opening night, at the Houston Gamblers. Gamblers also unimpressive. They just got blown out of the water by the Dallas Renegades. I think they'll come back a little bit better. You know, Kevin Sumlin's a good coach. He has a good quarterback as well. Hunter Decker, he's a lefty, but he really showed me something in that game, something that really impressed me. Even Rick Neuheisel told the coach at the end of the game, you guys got something here. I think they should stick with Hunter Decker. Nolan Henderson, oh my goodness. He dropped off from a year ago. He had 2 interceptions, 1 returned, and then he almost threw a third. I didn't understand the play of Nolan Henderson to begin the game. I felt like he put his team, in a bad spot in the first quarter, and they just never recovered. Hopefully, they open with Hunter Decker and they move on from that. But I still don't think they have enough to beat the Birmingham Stallions. Again, I'm picking the Stallions because they are the most dominant team in the UFL, right? But also because they are talented. I just didn't understand the way the offense was working. You got a good receiver in Mickens who was making plays all over the field. In fact, he won the game for them. Matt Corral I don't know if it was an offensive line problem, but they were just getting beaten off the ball. They looked sluggish. Deion Kane came in late in the game. They finally used him. They have good tight ends. They're not utilizing the tight ends as much. I didn't understand the game plan against Louisville. Maybe A.J. McCarron fixes that up. Or could this be an A.J. McCarron situation? He is obviously a new head coach in the league. Unlike the coach from the Columbus Aviators, and you got to understand, these guys are new at what they're doing. They're new to this league. They're learning as they go, and hopefully they get it together and call better games. I was just disappointed with the Birmingham opening night, but I believe they have enough to money line them, take the under 40.5, and take the minus 4.5. That one might go higher, but if it's at minus 4.5, I would grab. If it goes any higher, like let's say it reaches like to 6 or 7, I might go with the plus, but for now it's a minus 4.5. Let's go to the last game and a Tuesday night game. This is interesting. So, wow, it's hard for me to fathom any football league playing on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It just bothers me. Monday night I could handle. Tuesday night, well, you got the St. Louis Battlehawks traveling to the Dallas Renegades. Guys, I'm very impressed with what I saw from the Dallas Renegades. They look solid. Defensively, they were solid. They're a tough team on defense. And then offensively, they just look incredible. Rick Neuheisel had them humming. This is not the same offense you saw last season, right? With Luis Perez at quarterback. Although he's still on the team, he gave way to a young quarterback in Austin Reed. Everybody that knows Austin Reed, this guy was highly touted coming out of college. I think he held the record, too, in 1 year, an NCAA record of like 5,000 plus yards in one season. Well, look what he did on opening weekend. UFO record, over 375 yards passing. That's awesome. 3 TDs, I believe. And they just look like a team destined to be there at the end. They're going to be trouble. If you guys have a futures bet on the Dallas Renegades, I believe their bet is at plus 475. I would jump on that. I'm a money line the Renegades against the Battlehawks. I know the Battlehawks got a fantastic defensive line. That's going to be the challenge this week for Dallas. Let's see. I'll tell you what, if Dallas wins this game and they beat the Battlehawks, they're definitely going to be my beginning of the year pick to take it all away. They just look too impressive. But the Battlehawks are good too. After a sluggish start, they managed to come back and beat the Defenders on opening weekend. Like I said, their defensive line is impressive, led by number 7, Peter. He's a fantastic edge rusher. Don't know why he's not in the NFL. I'm sure the Jets or the Browns could use an edge rusher. There's your guy. Just bringing him on third down. I don't know what they're expecting Peter to do. Play all 4 downs? Come on. I mean, that would be great. I'm sure if you coach him up well, he can give you that. The guy's just fantastic. So anyway, we're going to moneyline the Renegades for this game. This was a tough bet, guys, and I should put an asterisk on it, but that was a tough bet. The over and under is at 42.5. We're going to go with the over 42.5. I think these teams are going to have to put points up, right, to seal victory. I think Dallas will be able to, but I think the Renegades, Brandon Silver, is just going to have to do a better job at quarterback. And the receivers for the St. Louis Battlehawks just have to be a little bit better for the guy, okay? They do need a running game. The spread, I believe, is going to be somewhere around -1.5. If not, it could go as high as 2.5. I'm still going to take the favorite Renegades to win at -1.5. So there you have it, folks. I'm going to show you the whiteboard right now, and hopefully you guys can see it real clearly who I'm picking for this week. Notice the asterisk, okay? Can you guys see it? Maybe I'm too close. All right, I'll lean it back a little. Okay, guys, I think you guys can see that, right? There you go. See the asterisk? That's my underdog of the week. I wanted to put another asterisk in that St. Louis Battlehawks game with the Renegades because that's another tough bet. But I think I'm pretty good with the upset of the week, and I think the Kings could pull it out. If not, if you feel comfortable with the Orlando Storm and Anthony Beck, then roll with it. Well, guys, there you have it. Those are my picks for this weekend, and hopefully you guys can cash it in. Start running to your sports books and local casinos or on your sports app. Bet small to win big. Remember, these are picks that I feel comfortable with. These are the earliest odds that I jumped on last night. Yes, I jumped on those early odds last night. Again, Vegas is kind of slow coming out with some of these odds. So that's why my board's been I'm sure there are guys out there looking at what I'm posting up and saying, where is he getting this? This is totally different from Vegas. So I don't know. Well, guys, look, when I get these early odds, I'm trying my best to put it down as quickly as possible. Now, if Vegas comes close to some of these odds that I'm posting up, then we're right there where we need to pick. But this is the way I feel. Good luck this weekend. Hopefully you guys can cash in again. Hopefully we do well on the money lines again. But we got to do better with the overs and unders. If you're a betting guy and you're parlaying, maybe stay away from the over and unders. They're hard to hit. I know there was one guy that said defenses are always ahead of the offenses. I agree with that. And he always, I believe he posted up in a comment last week that he always takes the unders the first couple of weekends. If he feels good about that, go right ahead. I believe he did very well in doing that. I did not. As far as the spreads, again, they're tough, but I'm pretty sure that they're almost as accurate as I could put them at. I believe that what I have on that whiteboard today is definitely the way it's going to go. So, guys, good luck this weekend. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for me and leave your comments below. Whether we disagree or agree on our picks, I would love to hear from you guys. Let's keep it going. I'm your favorite UFL sports bettor, Casino Pete. And I can't wait to see you guys next weekend. So let's keep cashing those tickets in. Let's go, guys. Let's go get it.